Okay, so the number of students is relative to the location. Now, when we talk about business, isn't business numbers? So 50 students might be a great student count if you can only fit 10 people on the floor. Right. So it's all relatives. But let's just talk about location here for a second. Because location, I think, is very important, guys. Sometimes your location does not justify getting more than 10 students per class. Sometimes you can fit 20, 30 students. Now, there's a difference between adults, there's a difference between children. So in a nutshell, in here, on this floor, and by the way, if you notice, that floor is not carpeting, that floor is not wood. So technically speaking, that floor is the world's safest martial arts floor, and I would use that as part of my walkthrough. I would let people know. Because that's puzzle mats that jam people toes.
The puzzle mats? Good mats.
Yeah.
Puzzle mats jam the toes, huh?
Yeah. Puzzle mats are dangerous. When I get up,
I don't even step in a dojo that has puzzle mats.
It scares me. That's why I wear these. That's why I wear these sneakers, because I got this thing called toe jam, and I don't want no toe jam. I don't want my feet to get hurt. But anyway, let's think about this. So, how many people do you fit comfortably on that floor in terms of children?
Oh, I could get 35 kids on here.
And adults?
Adults? Probably about 20, 25. You've been here on a Sunday, we've had like 17, 18.
Yeah. So the idea again, guys,
the most we've ever had on the floor for the seminar was about 35 adults.
So the bottom line is that you have to know your limitations. You got to know the size of that crib to see if the baby can handle it.
When's your next seminar?
Leo Gahe Jr.
is on July 14th.
So July 14th,
July 14th.
Have a seminar on.
He's gonna have the world. He's gonna have the world renowned.
Bikini Tersha. Leo Gahe is going to be here at Blue Light Karate doing his annual seminar.
How do we sign up?
You sign up. You go right on Facebook or just give me a call. Inbox me.
Yeah, we'll put a link here in the bottom. Bottom line is this: we want to help people. Now, someone who has 50 students, can they help somebody with 25 students? If someone has 25 students, can someone who has 50 students help them?
Yeah.
Now, who benefits when you help them?
The person with the 25 students.
And you don't? If someone has 50 students and they help someone with 25 students, they won't have 50 students no more, because you start teaching what you get good at. That's what happens. This is, in my experience, throughout the years, being part of different billing companies and networks, the real deal money was made when people communicated with each other, when they were part of a network. Sometimes the network might have been, now, again, you go to a place and there's 400 or 500 people there, but now you only communicate with 2 or 3 of them. And you start doing things like this. Whoever has the most students this month, new students, they pay for lunch. Why? Because you can't afford it. That type of stuff. So when you if you teach people how to advertise, that means you got to work on your advertisement. If you teach people how to get referrals, then you got to work on your referrals. I believe that you get good at what you teach. So if you wanna get good at something, start teaching it, because then you start making research, doing research on it, and when it comes down to it, 100 students, 200 students, 1,000 students. Compare that to the amount of people within a 5-mile radius each direction. That's nothing.
No, it's not.
Nothing. And I think that's where people mess up. They think that 100, it sounds like a lot of people. And it is compared to 10. But how many people do you want to help? That's the question. How many people do you want to help? How many people do you want to help?
How many people I want?
How many people would you like to help? As many as possible, right? I mean, that's the answer. We don't have a specific number, but if you had to help more people, you would get more locations, wouldn't you?
That's right.
And that's part of the plan. Mm-hmm. So martial arts schools are solutions. It's places.
Right now, more locations.
Well, now let me explain. When I got into the multiple school operation, I had 6 at one point.
Right.
I did not do it to earn more income. I did it because I had people coming from that area, and I felt horrible. I'm in the Bronx, and people coming by train from Brooklyn. And I knew that ride was an hour and a half. I'm like, this makes no sense whatsoever. So I went over to Brooklyn and cut a deal with someone who had a school that wasn't doing too well. But he had 2 locations at the time. And I said to him, listen, if you had a choice between 1 or 2 locations, which one would you keep? He mentioned the one. I said, perfect. So this is what I'll do. Let's make a deal. Yep. And 24 hours after, the Fontenay Martial Arts School was there. So if you're trying to earn more income, and that's the reason why you open up your school, that could be a problem. Because you want to leverage. See, this is a big mistake that I discovered. Unless you know what your school's like. If you're teaching Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday at that same location, other activities are happening, then you could be in 2 schools. Because you could be in that other school Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. However, if you're a Monday through Saturday operation and you're reaching these numbers and you walk away to another operation, your place is not going to double. You're not going to earn more income. You're going to spend more money and drive yourself crazy. So staffing is the most important thing. So how do you get staffing? You start teaching an instructor's training program. You go over to one of the JK instructors, correct? Right? So now, are you allowed to teach just because you got a black belt at JK, or do you have to go to instructor's training?
You have to take a course.
So you have to go to a course to teach people how to teach. Mm-hmm. So in other words, they go to Hamburger U. Isn't that something? Right. Now, what's the problem with martial arts is that people assume just because you're a black belt that you can teach. And we make the mistake of, listen, you're a black belt, go on the floor and warm them up. I don't want to. But sometimes that yellow belt that comes in already with those leadership skills and he starts lining people up, you start noticing those natural tendencies. So you're not supposed to hire what would be the belt. You're supposed to invest in the attitude. That person who's fixing everybody up and telling them what to do, you see them, they're 5 years old. There's always a leader in the class that's quiet, follow. So you put them in the instructor's training program. I had a school that had, on any given day, I could have 20 instructors. I could open up multiple schools. My student kept the tradition going. And any Saturday, he has a good hour and a half, and they're teaching people how to literally become instructors or how to run schools. So our goal is to each one teach one. We're going to network with people in a variety of ways, not just with business, but also with multiple streams of income. Hear that? Security. Hear that? Front door security. Some of you guys don't even have security in your place. There's cameras up there. Some of you guys don't have any cameras. Now, I'm not saying that you need to have any of these things, but
Yes,
I'm saying you do.
You need to have it. When you're dealing with kids, you need cameras everywhere. So
open door policy.
Won't be no he say, she say.
Okay,
Right.
Let's talk about that for a second. By association, just being martial artists, something happens in Florida, we still feel it over here.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that crazy? So we've had some tragic stories happen with children and adults alike, and we suffer from it. There's a gentleman in Maryland, multi-million-dollar operation that has, some madness happened, and it was caught on video. A jiu-jitsu school, a guy who's a millionaire, almost completely took down his operation. So guys, again, we're not trying to preach to you, but the fact of the matter is that we're trying to share some information on how to keep you guys in business, how to keep you guys safe. And by the way, you do not have to be a sellout. You can sell out your equipment, but don't be a sellout. In other words, don't teach things that you do not believe in. And I believe that all of us can improve. In recent days, I went over to your school, and I know that he has some students with some special needs. Can we help those kids?
Sure can.
I think that people are making a mistake because we really are better with those kids than the average person.
Right.
And we should market to them.
Exactly.
Because they're already coming to us as a last resort. I don't know what else to do. Because this kid got some A through Z. I'm not sure what letters they are, And I say, me too. Obviously, I got the same thing. So that being the case, guys, I strongly suggest you get with a group of people, of parents who really, really are looking for some solutions, and you don't even realize you have the skills to help them. And if you want to work on your skills, then we'll be able to share some information with you. I'm excited. Are you excited?
I'm excited.
Yeah, well, the future is bright. I think the future is very bright. And again, guys, I challenge you. Set higher goals. Help more people. And if you need help, contact us. AB.
See ya. Scared money don't make money.
I like that. We out of here.